If your price is not your life, then you're for sale. What's up, you guys? Sage here, Mr. Legacy Africa himself. Um, if your price is not your life, then you're for sale. And this spoke to me today. It really just came to me in the sense that I'm tired. We're all tired. We all have 1,001 things to do, and there's only one of us. There's only so much time in the day, but you end up doing the things that you do actually genuinely care about, right? At the end of the day, there is such a thing as free will, and you do prioritize what it is that's going to benefit you as well in the long term. Hopefully, if you, hopefully you're a long term thinker, and that's how you approach things. And in those things, in that 1001, there are the things for which you are willing to die. And the question becomes, are you willing to live for those things? Oh, you are? Awesome. Now, at what price point would you stop? Which is a question that, say, I'm asking to myself, at what price point would you stop? Would you stop at 10 million? You've made 10 million rands now from Legacy Africa, from the social media. Are you going to stop? You can, you've made 100 million. You can now disappear comfortably, get yourself a nice little Cape Town villa, 5 levels, Camps Bay, get the Ferrari, get the whatever, and live comfortably for the rest of your life. You stop now. You have a billion. You can get the Camps Bay property, and you can get another property within that same Cape Town region. You can get a Joburg property, a Durban property, a PE. You can do anything you want and still continue to live comfortably. Is that the point where you stop? And the answer to that is, when it comes to those things that you're willing to live for, to dedicate your life to, if your price is not your life, then you are for sale. Meaning you will get to a point where there's a guy like me. By the time I get to private equity, right, and I'm acquiring dreams, I'm acquiring companies, and say there's some systems behind your dream, or there's a very good idea behind your dream, and I can put some systems behind it and make it work for me. The question becomes, are you at that point willing to sell if I'm not bought into your vision? Meaning, I'm taking your product, I'm taking your idea, I'm taking your brand, but I may not steer it in the direction that you want it to go. Is there a price point at which you can say you would be willing to compromise your mission? Meaning, when we start these ventures, hopefully there is an end goal in mind. Hopefully there's a place that we're trying to get to. Hopefully there are people whose problems we're trying to solve. And the bigger and more complex the problem, the bigger the rewards for solving that problem, is what you'll find within entrepreneurship. And so, to have a price point attached to it, to have a rand amount, to have a dollar amount, to have a currency attached to your dream, that you would cop out at, that you would compromise at, means that your dedication to your dream is only limited to the amount of dollars you can get before it gets achieved. Or hopefully for you, you would like to get that amount of money after the dream has been achieved. Because if it happens for you before, then you're not going to continue. You're not going to keep going. And I think that's what gets most people beat nowadays is, if they're being pushed, if they're being pried, if they're being pulled toward the dream, the vision, then they wake up early, they go to sleep late, they do what it takes. But the difference between a lion and a gazelle, the difference between people who are reactive, people who are proactive, is no one needs to wake you up and let you know that no one's coming to save you. No one needs to constantly tap you on the shoulder, monitor you, open the door while you're working out, and check if you're actually lifting the weights, because you know that the only person you're cheating is yourself in those moments. The only person that you're failing in the moments when you can't follow through, in the moments when you can't outrun your past self long enough to become your new you. The main person that you fail in those moments is yourself. And so again, going back to the topic at hand, if you're not willing to suffer immensely, enormously, and without reason, then it becomes very highly unlikely that you're going to be able to achieve unreasonable results. If you're not willing to go through unreasonable suffering, unreasonable pain, unreasonable circumstances, and become an unreasonable person, then the likelihood that you're able to achieve something unreasonable becomes very, very low. Now, while we're in the middle of this video, um, Legacy Africa is becoming more than just t-shirts. It's becoming tools for entrepreneurs. It's becoming a network for entrepreneurs, and so much more that I can't get into right now. But if you're an entrepreneur watching this video, tap in with me, tap in on the page, DM, talk about your interests over there, and we can have a real and fruitful conversation about where you can have it forward. Again, most of the stuff, 99.9% of the stuff is going to be free. This is I can't scale, obviously, meaning I can't give this for free at mass because it has a base cost to it being produced. And the other thing that comes at the very end of the machine is also something that I can't do for anyone and everyone at the same time, but I can do it for any one particular person, and so I have to put a paywall behind it. If you're interested in that, go check out the link in the description. I put Legacy Africa's Instagram down there. And then with that, I have a question for anyone that's still hanging around at this point. Whenever I am talking to camera, the more philosophical side of me comes out, the side of me that is more focused on the mental aspect, that's more focused on those types of things, is the side that you get to see more often than not. And so my question is, would you find value, you who's watching this now, find more value if I was more tactical, as I have been at some point? If you can go back in this channel, you will find that when I started this, say August 2 years ago, was it August 2 years ago? No way. No way. Yeah, it might actually be August 2 years ago. No way. 24, yeah. Damn. Anyway, August 2 years ago, um, you'll find that I'm very, very tactical. I was, it was during the time where I was reading the books and I was doing things. So now, if we talk about more deep tactical stuff, I can talk about, the formulation of Legacy Africa, of the marketing of Legacy Africa, the like the machine that I'm building behind it, the systems, the processes. I really don't mind talking about any of that type of stuff. Obviously, there's certain things that are going to happen that I can't talk about yet, but the things that are happening, like not now, but just now, the things that happened leading up until this point, I'm more than comfortable talking about. So if you would find value in that, I'm actually thinking about doing something that is lives on Sundays. And during those lives, it's not only going to be talking more tactical stuff, more business specific stuff, but also there's going to be a Q&A section at the end that if you are a part of the legacy tree, then um, then you're going to be able to ask questions in that Q&A about your specific business if you're an entrepreneur yourself. Um, just food for thought with that. But ultimately, the message that I wanted to get across today is, like I said, it's freaking hot in Port Elizabeth right now. Um, it's been a really long day for me. I'm sure it's been a really long day for all of us as we're getting and gearing into this year and beginning to focus on our game plans and actually execute our game plans. And we're giving energy to not try and step outside of that game plan. I think this is the season where that does make or break a lot of people, funny enough, because it's just the beginning of the year, right? But if you get your year off to a good start versus a bad start, it does kind of set the pace and set the tone for the rest of the year, either as a redemption arc. If you think of it the right way, this is either going to set the tone for it to be a redemption arc, or it's going to set the tone for it to be a continuation of your dominance. But the most important thing is not to stop, because we will stop when our mission is done or we die. That's what it means to have your price be your life. Is the accumulation of wealth happens as a byproduct of the mission that you're headed on. You know, fortunately or unfortunately, the execution of these dreams and the solutions to these problems aren't free for us to execute. And so we need to be smart about how we're monetizing the systems we build so that we can be put in positions of power and leverage to be able to execute the change that we want to execute. For me, for you, for your children, for our children, for Africa. If you like the video, please hit the subscribe button. I've been Sage, standing on business. Signing out.